Welcome to the weekend update for Liberty Leadership and Lies with Larry Linton, coming to you from the Goat Locker studio in Sevierville, Tennessee. Well, it was an exciting Friday for me, I can tell you that. First, there was the Sevier County GOP Rise and Shine breakfast at 7:30 a.m. in downtown Sevierville. State Representative Andrew Farmer was there to give the audience an update on things that are happening in Nashville and across the state. For those of you that don't know, Sevier County falls in two different state districts. The 12th, which is represented by Dale Carr and is mostly the southern and western portion of the county. The northeastern part of the county is represented in Nashville by Andrew Farmer. His district also includes part of our neighboring county of Jefferson. All in all, it was a somewhat informative meeting with a couple of local constituents asking good questions about Governor Lee's executive orders, the House Republicans asking for a special session, what the study committee on illegal aliens is doing, as well as election integrity. I met a few new people there that are starting to make their stands in the arena, and just like the GOP chairman, I hope to see more constituents get involved in future meetings. The next GOP Rise and Shine breakfast is scheduled for 1 October, so you Sevier County residents mark that in your calendars. I will put more information out about it as I receive it. So, from that meeting, I went from the routine to the ridiculous. Later that afternoon, I had to travel over to Newport for a doctor's appointment, and halfway there, the old F-150 died. Right on Interstate 40. Well, it didn't die. I had to pull over and shut it down to avert catastrophe. The first indication I had that something was wrong was the AC started blowing warm air. Then the power steering went, and then every light on the dash lit up. Oil temperature, water temperature, battery. Needless to say, the lovely and talented Denise drove out to my location to rescue me, and then we had to have our truck towed back to the house. AAA only provides free towing out for 5 miles from your location. Well, I broke down 5 miles, plus 30 some odd miles away. That is a hefty little bill, let me tell you. All is well that ends well, though. Today, I'll be troubleshooting to save the old girl. After all, it's only 21 years old with nearly 230,000 miles on it. I believe there's some good life left in it. Also, this coming week is the Constitutional Conservatives meeting. It's on the 19th in the Sevier County Courthouse at 6 p.m. Show up if you can. Oh, and the school board meeting I went to on Monday, it was okay. It went so-so. I hung up a video on the website that every parent with school-aged children should see. It is a mother taking a stand in the arena. And I'm blessed to call this young lady and her husband friends as well. So if you have some free time, you should go to the website and watch it. It's less than 10 minutes long, and more parents need to be doing this at their school board meetings. After all, the school board works for us, not the other way around. Speaking of school boards, this ties nicely into our state news. After forwarding a letter to Governor Lee asking him to call a special session to address all the mask mandates being imposed in school districts all over the state, it seems that House Speaker Cameron Sexton is backpedaling. Gee, imagine that. The latest news is that just after Speaker Sexton sent the letter to the governor, Sexton, now states that he's backing away from calls for the legislature to overrule school districts that impose mask mandates. Well, I hope you all are watching these videos of parents all over the country fighting the school boards on this issue. Masking the children in schools is child abuse, plain and simple, and it looks like our legislature is spineless. Statistically, children face more life-threatening danger in the bathtub at home or in a car on the way to school than they do from COVID. But, hey, don't let those facts get in the way of teachers' unions and tyrannical school boards. Do not bend the knee to these tyrants. They are your children, and you get to make their health decisions, not the government, period. Well, enough for that now. Let's get on to the federal news. Remember, for months we have been told that there is not a crisis on our southern border. Government has said it, and their media enablers have said it. Well, news reports coming out about 200,000 documented encounters with border crossers during the month of July. We now get this little gem of a hot mic moment from the usurper Secretary of Homeland Security. Here, let me play it for you.
This is unsustainable. These numbers cannot continue. We cannot get to a point where we were a couple weeks ago, and we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. We're looking at the policy options.
Here is Secretary Mayorkas in a meeting with CPB officials, and I quote, "This is unsustainable. These numbers cannot continue. We cannot get to a point where we were a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. We're looking at policy options," end quote. Well, first of all, the only way the government can make sure those numbers do not happen again is to finish the wall. Or maybe his statement on quote-unquote policy options is to have 0 CPB officials and 0 encounters and just completely open up the border. That is really what the usurper and his handlers want, right? The complete dilution of our birthright citizenship and the loss of our constitutional republic, sealing themselves at the helm of power for however long our country lasts after that. Well, that's it for this week. Until next week, this has been the weekend update of Liberty, Leadership, and Lies with Larry Linton. I pray you all have a wonderful weekend. Stand in the arena. Reveille, it's time to wake up.